businesses together, my sister and I do. And really, a lot of our interest in AI grew out of problems, right, that we had in our business, and trying to seek some solutions to those, some of which needed custom solutions, right? So that's how we got started in this. So why does AI matter for small and medium businesses? And I'm not going to go in order here or read this to you, but you know, we can now compete with giants. We can have the same online presence, online reputation. We can present ourselves to other people the way that the larger corporations have always been able to, because they spend a ton of money. We don't really have to do that anymore with the use of AI. We can spend a moderate amount of money and get the same branding as they did in the past. We can personalize our messages also. And so it doesn't have to be just kind of out of the box cookie cutter messaging. We can put the person's name, we can put their interest in the messages. We can get a lot faster customer responses. You know, I saw something recently that said, if you miss a call, then like you have about a 70% chance of losing that business. And all of us can attest to that because we all done it, right? I had to get a painter for my house last week, and I called the painter, didn't answer. Okay, I'm calling the next one. The third one I talked to, I hired, because they talked to me, I was in communication with them. There's a lot of communication systems out there now where you can have that, AI can get you that instant communication with them. They can even give a quote on something for your business, and that way you got that instant contact and you gain that business instead of your competitor who didn't answer. Also, to me, one of the biggest things is automating repetitive processes, because we all have, some research I saw recently said that up to 50% of a person's job can be automated because it's just the same task that you're doing over and over again. And then, of course, improving data accuracy. This is huge for me, because anytime we have a problem, somebody tells me, oh, we have a problem with this or that. Is that your AI talking? AI always has something to say. But with the data accuracy, I always say, bring me the data. You know, when they say, everybody does this, nobody does that, I'm like, okay, but show me the facts, right? So you gotta have AI to help you gather those facts and the right facts to use in decision making. This is a little bit about what I've said already here. It can help answer questions. Now, one way that we use it in another part of our business is that we are always getting new employees. It's a great problem to have, right? Because that means our business is growing. But the training can be a real drain on your current workers, and usually we use our best workers to do the training, right? So that's taking our best workers away from the job to do the training. But what if AI could actually train them for you, right? And there are systems out there that can do that, even develop training manuals for you. And that's going to save you a ton of time, and you're going to get a better employee out of it in the end. It can also surface some insights that you might have otherwise missed, and that's again the AI that gathers data for you. So, I started thinking about it, and I was asking some people before we started, like, what do you want to walk away with from, this presentation? And so I thought what we talk about is, productivity. How do we increase our productivity? The customer experience. How do we make sure it's a great customer experience? And how do we increase our revenue? I want to make sure that you walk out with some, what we call quick wins, or ways to start implementing this. And then even a roadmap that you can put into place. And I will, if anybody, when I go to a presentation, I'm always like taking pictures of the slides, right? I'll have these on a website that you can go back and refer to later if you'd like to. I don't know, this is my first SBE event. Has anybody been here before? Did they provide the slides? Okay, well, I'll make sure that you get the slides.
Okay.
Sure. So, in one of our businesses, we have cods. We call them cods, cows, and coys. That's your crisis of the day, your crisis of the week, and your crisis of the year. And if you don't pay attention to those cods and cows, they become the coy, right? So whenever we're trying to define, okay, how much time do we have to spend on something? You know, do we say, well, it's just a cod, right? But if you go through and examine these over time, not just trying to solve the problem at the end, but go back and say, why did we have this problem? Look at the process and think about, you know, is there a way that AI can help me with this process to get to a better solution and be more proactive? We also want to automate routine tasks. So your 9 to 5, you know, jobs. What can we do in those in order to make sure that we get the daily grind of things done, things that have to happen? How can we do them accurately, and how can we speed them up? And that will allow us, I'm a big believer in AI enhancing human work, but not replacing it, right? I mean, you can get more productivity out, but you still want to have that human connection with your customers because they care about you and they want you to care about them. So what you're doing though is you're greatly enhancing what you can do. So in order to do that, in order to do all this, we have to know the right tools. Okay, and I didn't know what this meant at first, but if you know, you know, right? I have an aunt, and one time she came to me and said, you know, my daughter just sent me something, and it said IDK on it. She said, what does it mean? And I said, I don't know. She said, well, I don't either. So, but if you know, you know. So you got to, you know, learn what tools are out there to help you. So create this chart. Most of us, we're here because we want to solve a problem, right? And this is a really good problem-solving process here, where you define the problem, you gather information, you figure out what is the root cause, then you can generate some solutions, evaluate, implement. You always have to monitor. A lot of people miss that one, the monitoring it, because after the new solution is in place, then you want to make sure it stays in place. And then, you know, I've gone through a lot of accreditation for a lot of different businesses, so you always document it too, right? If you didn't document it, it didn't happen. Yep. So there's lots of ways to do that. So I gave you some sample tools, but there are so many tools that help with all of this. And tools change literally every single day. I get up 2 hours before I start work, and my work days are 14 hours. But only because I'm really interested in it, and I love life and I love my work. Okay, nobody tells me to work that many hours. But I have to get up those 2 hours to find out what just happened 24 hours ago in the field of AI, because it literally changes overnight, every day. So how are you going to keep up with that if you're a busy business owner? Well, it's really very difficult. So, you know, what I do is I listen to some podcasts, anything I can catch in 5 to 10 minutes, I do those. But I really try to educate myself on these to find out what are the best tools at the moment. But what I would also say is, in this process, you know, it's better if you can have a lot of different types of services, a lot of different type of software in one, right? If you can find something that does a lot of these tools in one, that's what you're looking for. Also, if you people debate, well, which large language model is better? Large language models, that just means like ChatGPT, Grok, Claude, these different things that you put a prompt into, which is basically like, I'm just talking to you, and I'm saying, hey, can you tell me about this, or can you do this? And so then it works through and it gives you the answer, right? I would say find some tools you really like and stick with them. Because if not, my goodness, I got to the point where I was like, okay, I used this tool yesterday, but there's a better one. Now I've got to learn a new feature. Don't just chase after the AI tools. Think about, what do I need? What do I need in my business? And then find the AI tools for them. And there's going to be updates on them. And then if there's something you need next, get that next one. And again, I'll share this with you. And I may do a more extensive, would y'all like a more extensive list of this?
Yes.
Okay, all right. I'll do that. Now, of course, we don't have time to go into each one of them. I wish we did. So, what are the tools I think you should definitely have, right, to improve your business? One is just a conversation bot, and that's something that I'll talk about smart websites in just a minute. But a smart website is, I guess I'll talk about it now, is different from a static website. A static website is like, okay, if I handed you a brochure, you get the same information off of it as my website. A smart website is tuned for something called AEO, which I'll talk about in a minute, but also it can have a voice AI bot on it, which is just where you literally talk to it, and it talks back to you and gives you the answers, like you were talking to customer service or whoever, in audio form. Or you can have a conversation bot that's text, and the bot can text back and forth. In the past, those were all answered by humans, but now we can train the bots very specifically on your business, and then it's going to answer from that information, right? So it's not just pulling things out and hallucinating all over the place. It's pulling from your resources to answer. It can also take actions now, not just answers, but actions. Like, it can book the appointments for you. It can gather the information you need. It can pre-qualify. I almost said patients, because we deal with a lot of patients in the medical field. But it can go ahead and make sure it kind of weeds out the ones that, they're never going to buy from you, right? And then it can get them to the right places. And what we see from this is a lot lower support cost, of course, but higher interaction with the humans, because you also need to have something on there that, have y'all ever said representative? Yes, like, oh my gosh, please, somebody human. So if you can answer about 80% of it, of their questions, just through the bots, then that leaves 20% that I can talk to you. I can ask about your mom and them, right? And see what's going on. Okay, and here's some other ways you can use it. You can actually have it give a quote for you if you program that in. Schedule an appointment, pricing, hours, troubleshooting. One way that we use it in another business is in text-to-order campaigns. So, anything in the medical field is highly regulated, and so you have to ask specific questions when you're doing reorders. Or like we sell insulin pumps and CGMs. So we have it go through and ask the questions for us, and that was a huge time saver when we started doing that. But now, that gets them to the point of, yes, we want the order this month. Well, our customer service agents were still having to take another 20 to 25 minutes to process that order. It's a 64-step process. So we took a tool like, I'm just going to go back here. we took a tool that's called Scribe, Scribe AI. And does anybody use Scribe? Okay, so it's super easy. Press a button, you do your process, press another button, and it gives you all the screenshots of what you just did. And then it'll also have like a little thing like click here. It gives you directions on it too. That's a great way to look at a process. So we were looking at the process and I started thinking, okay, it takes 64 human steps, but you know, can we do this with AI? So we took a 64-step process that took 20 to 25 minutes to complete one, and now we bulk complete the process, and it takes 0.8 seconds. Wow. Huge, huge difference for us. Then we can spend time on the outliers. You know, the people that, okay, this didn't really fit, or they got something that's going on with them, we want to know. You know, especially our company, A+ Medical Supplies, because we deal with a lot of children with diabetes, like type 1, like you can't get it wrong, right? So we want to spend time with those parents, those kids that might be scared. So, will you just give me a heads up if I get close to time? I'm really bad about talking over. I'm sorry, y'all. But I think that these are important things to have. Also, that voice AI, like never miss a call. Have y'all used a lot of voice AI agents recently? You do? Mm-hmm. Okay, and so don't they sound almost human now? Mm-hmm. Some of them.
Yes and no. Whether or not they're able to understand the accent gives it away.
Yes, that's true. And they're getting better though, like understanding accents, understanding your tone. That's like, am I angry? You know, do I need to go? This one's going to manager. Going to a management meeting, or you know, are you know, okay, everything's going well. I'm going to make a very daring thing here. I'm going to make a phone call to one of our companies, and Jessica will answer. I tested this out earlier, just so you know, it has a lag in here. I think it's something with the walls and all that, but at least you can kind of get a feel for what it can do.
Jessica from the Future of AI. How can I help you today?
Hey Jessica, I was wondering about your services. Do you sell chatbots or voice AI? This is the lag that's usually not there.
Got it, Kathy. I can help with that. A team member will reach out with the details on our services. Before we wrap up, could I grab a couple things? What's the best email for you? And a quick note on what you're looking to accomplish. We can also book you a free discovery club walkthrough on the business. Want me to check available times?
So, that's huge lag time. I apologize about that being in here. But you can tell it sounds much more human than the IVR that we used to use, like and it's not press 1, press 2, press 3. So it can do everything from taking messages, booking things. It can also drop them into a workflow, and I'll show you that in a minute too. Okay, also very important to have a great CRM, customer relationship management tool, right? Because that's going to store all of your contacts, and you're going to use that when you're sending text messages, you're using voicemail drops. You know, when you're sending emails, you need all that information in a really good tool. You also need, if you're dealing with documents at all, right, you need a good, it's called OCR, optical character recognition, and all that means is that it's going to look at a document as an image, and it's going to say, like for us, with a prescription, it's going to say, okay, this prescription matches what we're actually sending the patient, so it can verify. It can also extract. There's something called Amazon Textract, and it can take different fields, pull that information, and then put it where you want it to go. And that means that, you know, a lot of times there's human error in data entry. Well, this takes that away. It just automatically puts it where it needs to go. Okay, this is what one type of workflow looks like. There's other workflows that use what's called nodes. They're just like little things that do different tasks, and you put them all together, you know, to meet your final goal. This is one. Let me see which one I pulled up. Okay, this is one where, let's say, somebody did business with you in the past. Yeah, you haven't seen them in a while. So, but you still have their contact information. You can reach out to them by text, email, and you can let them know, oh, hey, if you come back, you know, you get $5 off, $25 off, whatever. You can have an offer, and that kind of gets them back into the flow again. There's a lot of different types of workflows that you can do for your business. And here's some of them. I'm not going to read you the list. So our company actually has over 100 different workflows that we use. And that just saves us so much time. Just imagine multiplying what we did with that 64-step process in time. And this can be across the board. You know, I see them most used in customer service, but there's a lot of, you can use them in billing. You can use them in a lot of places. Okay, this is my, Leanne just gave me a 5, you got 5 minutes. All right, so I apologize. I meant to get through a lot more, but let me just boil it down to a couple of things. You need to have a smart website and AEO. So a smart website is not that static, here's your brochure website. What it does is it interacts, like I said, with the bots. One other thing that you can do today when you go home for your website to help, there's, you know, SEO is how we rank on Google. AEO is answer engine optimization. And that's the way, like ChatGPT will find you and give an answer. Okay, what's the best plumbing business? What's the best construction business? Who should I use as a painter? You know, whatever your business is. If you have questions on your website, like an FAQ page, and they are very direct, you just need 2 or 3 sentences. They need to be succinct. You need to answer the question without any fluff, right? Then ChatGPT or another large language model can pull that in and answer other people. It's free advertising, right? There's, and then what I'm going to give you is a list of things that you can do for SEO, GEO, which I don't have time to talk about, and AEO. Give me a second, take a picture. Some more information, you can go, if anybody wants to take a picture, I will have this on a website for you to see later if you want to. I don't have time to go into all of this, but that's like a quick win. Go home, do the FAQs, right? And also, if you're giving information on your home page, say, we do this. If you could frame it as a question instead of the answer, and then answer it, that's better. Okay, you need a good dashboard. You need some content generation, and a social planner is a tool that you use so that you not only generating the content, but it's going to send it for you on the day and time you want it sent. So you can do, you can do your content one day, 2 hours, then have it planned out. It's going out the whole month. You also need to have multi-channel communication because everybody likes to get a message a different way, right? And if you can find a way to have it all come into just one inbox, like all your social media messages, all of your texts, all of your emails, your phone calls, all in one spot, and there is software out there like this, that you can answer a person or train a bot to answer it for you, then that's a great way to go. There's lots that you can do with marketing automation, all the way from your ads, landing pages, nurture sequences until then you get to the sale. You know, a lot of times, the research is it takes 5 to 7 points of contact before a sale. So you don't ever wanna just reach out one time, you wanna just continue to have them, and like those workflows I showed you, you can do like a nurturing campaign that's going to contact them today, and then maybe we wait 2 or 3 days, and we're gonna contact them again, until the point that we see, okay, they're not buying from us, but we can throw them into a long-term nurture, and then only contact them once a month. You wanna keep them kind of in the loop. And again, you can have appointment scheduling right on your website, or you can have your bot take care of that for you. Reputation management, I know we've got 1 minute, y'all, but reputation management, you've got to make sure your online reputation is good. People trust reviews on Google just as much as they trust a friend. So you have to make sure you're getting those review links out to your customers and they're giving you good reviews. Because also, if you only have a few and then you have one bad one, what happens? Right, so you want to get as many as you can. All right, we won't talk about MCP servers today, but it will be on there. Let's see, I don't think I have time for most of this, but this is what I do. I identify my quick wins, which is, okay, what's my biggest problem that I have? Or what's taking the most time in my business? Then I'm gonna go through that, chart that I gave you and think through, okay, what are the AI solutions that can do this for me? And then do that FAQ. And then, also, if you can, contact a company. I will tell you, this is, we do have the future of AI. If anybody wants, we do all of this, right, for you. But it's a lot to learn. I'm telling you, it's a lot to learn and do yourself. If you want to do it yourself, go for it. But if you want somebody who can do these services for you, you can contact us. We have a product called Chatting AI platform that can help you with all of this. Also, we've got these postcards. If anybody wants to do some business with us, scan it, fill out a 2-minute form about what you want to have more education about, and then we'll give you $500 off. Okay, but also that we do webinars through the future of AI that are free, and we do them on Tuesdays. Now we're going to do one next Tuesday, but then we're not for the next 2 because we're trying to spend time with family, right? That's what AI gives us, is time with family back. So, but do stay in touch with us. If there's anything that I can do for you, I'm gonna just hang out if anybody wants to ask any questions after the session. And then I apologize we didn't have time for questions, but do come up. Thank you so much for attending.
Thank you.
Thank you. Go to your website for the free webinar.
Yes, sorry, www.thefutureofai.com is where you can go for the free webinars. But I've done it on the post.